Hey guys, Shaved Popcorn 245 here, and today I want to talk a little bit about burnout. And it's been 2 weeks of uploading videos now, on day 15 for this one, and you may have noticed that a lot of my uploads don't really happen before midnight. And I had said in the last video about how you have to cut things and all this different stuff in order to make stuff work. And I'm often a person who has very big dreams and am willing to dedicate a lot of time and effort to put towards those things. And so I'm often prone to burning out. And now that we're 2 weeks in on this whole process, I'm definitely starting to see the beginning signs of burnout. My uploads have been really late, as I already said, and I've got lots of, I'm keeping up with everything, but it doesn't feel like I have any breathers or any spacers in between the stuff that I'm doing. And though I'm keeping up with the Joneses, I'm also feel like I'm always under the 8 ball, or under the gun, as they say, of I have this immense pressure that's pushing down on me and telling me you gotta move to this, you gotta move to this. And so after a while of that, you kind of just start to just get numb and shut down to the whole experience. And so I guess what's the takeaway? What do you do about it? Or what do I do about it, I guess? Well, I think there's a couple things. When I'm suffering through this kind of stuff, I think the biggest thing is allowing yourself those crappy days, and those days where you can not be the best, and that you can miss the timelines and miss things. And I think there's a certain amount of being okay with of not living up to your expectations all the time. I think that's one of the things that leads people to so much burnout, is that they just don't ever quite feel like they're making the progress. Because I think if you were constantly doing stuff and getting to where you wanted to be, I think you would be a lot more okay. I think you'd be, it's not like people that get stuff done all the time are fantastic, but I think in general, I think you would be a lot less unhappy and a lot less ragged if you felt like you were getting to some kind of completion. And then the other part of it, I think, is support and asking for help. I think one of the hardest things to do when you're struggling and when you do feel like you're stressed is let me stop and take the time to talk to somebody about it. Let me ask for help and see if I can train them on one or two things that might help my life or whatever, right? Like that, to somebody who's feeling like they're already under stress and pressure, and that they don't have, it's like adding salt to a wound, because you can't, if you don't feel like you're making progress, it feels like the last thing you want to do is stop so that you can make more progress. So I think it's just that process. I said process a lot. But I think it just comes down to that, right? It's the idea that you got into this mess by yourself, and the expectations that you're putting on yourself, and maybe you're not going to be the best way out. Maybe you should reach out to people and get them to help you in some way. Maybe they can help pull some swords or some knives out of you that you don't see. And maybe that's part of the burning out, is that you feel like this is all your burden and your responsibility. Maybe there's other people around you who don't feel engaged. Maybe there's other people who would feel happy helping, and you're actually keeping them from that because you're so focused on only thinking about your agenda and what you're trying to do. So I don't know if this is resonating with anybody, but this is just kind of where I'm at. And so I'm not going to be stopping the 245 days of popcorn. I am going to try to be a little bit more self-aware, right? I just had some really good sessions with some good friends, and I plan to play some video games over the weekend. And if you'd like to join along and watch some of that, you can check out a link to my Twitch channel in the description. If you want to come and watch me game, or even jump into Discord and game with me, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I really enjoy making these videos, and though it's added a little bit of chaos and stress into my life, it's just good to have this, to have like a connection and to have something where I can connect with a bunch of other people. And it's been really fun to like re-engage with this platform after such kind of a long hiatus. So yeah, I've really enjoyed this process. And yeah, tomorrow I plan to kind of do something a little bit more in the musical vein. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet tonight, and maybe I'll get some sleep so I won't be so burnt out. So, all right, guys, catch you tomorrow. 2, 5, out.